What's going down, y'all? Welcome to another video. And before we get in this video, I want to give a quick shout out to my subscriber. He was the Dallas Cowboys and I was the Bengals for this matchup. But my week 5 predictions, my week 4 predictions, they weren't too far off. I think I missed 5, maybe 4 games that I missed, which is not too bad. You guys can correct me on that. But my week 5 predictions, we're going to get right into it by recapping the Arizona Cardinal game on Thursday night against the sorry-ass 49ers. Now, Chip Kelly, I don't even know how he pulled this job. He must be blackmailing the owner or the GM or something like that. But Chip Kelly, oh man, he's just so bad as a coach. Last year in Philadelphia, this year in San Francisco, I just don't know what it is about his coaching that his teams can't get it together. And going back to the Cardinals, they finally they got a win. They were the biggest disappointment this far in the NFL, starting 1-3. Got a win last week or this week. They look good. David Johnson is a beast. He finally looked like himself. The Cardinals, they look like themselves. That's the best thing I could say because they were personally my top 3 teams to make it to the Super Bowl, possibly win the Super Bowl. So to start off the season the way they did was kind of disappointing. And moving on to this game right here, Cincinnati going on the road to Dallas. Now, Cincinnati is a very solid team offensively and defensively. In Dallas, surprisingly, they're the same. They're a very solid team. Dak Prescott is the perfect quarterback for them right now. He doesn't throw interceptions. He has a certain presence about him, a certain calmness that he brings to the team, and he's confident. That's what the Dallas Cowboys need. They need confidence in that division, and as you can see, there's results. They're 3-1. They easily could have been 4-0 against my Giants, but they fucking lost. We're not going to bring that up. As far as this game goes, Cincinnati going on the road to Dallas. It's a tough game. 2 very solid teams, like I said. But if I had to choose, I don't want to go with the Cowboys, but no, fuck it. We're going with the Bengals on the road. I think it's going to be a defensive game in the first half, but second half, the tempo's going to pick up. And I think Cincinnati has a better offense. Their defense is a little bit better. So I'm going Cincinnati squeezing out a win on the road in Dallas. Next game up is New England Patriots going on the road to Cleveland, and there's only 2 words I have to say about this matchup: Tom Brady. Philadelphia Eagles going on the road to Detroit. I picked Detroit last week against Chicago. Obviously, they lost to Chicago, which was a big surprise to me just because Chicago's terrible. But Philadelphia coming off a bye, going into Detroit. Man, I know the Eagles are undefeated, but I'm taking Detroit once again. They're at home. I don't know. I just have a feeling that the Lions will pull this one off against Carson Wentz, even though the Eagles are looking pretty good. And I hate to say that because they are in the same division as the Giants, and I don't want them to win the division, obviously. But I'm going with Detroit. I'm going with Detroit with the upset over Philadelphia. Chicago Bears at the Indianapolis Colts, 2 very bad teams. The Colts are very surprising. I thought they were going to have a good year. Andrew Luck was going to be MVP, maybe an MVP candidate, but that's not the case. Chicago's terrible like every year. I don't know. I'm just going to take the Colts just because they're at home, but that game is really a toss-up between 2 very bad teams. The Tennessee Titans going on the road to play Miami Dolphins in Miami. First off, I want to say my prayers are with anybody that's affected by Hurricane Matthew in Florida and the East Coast. That's nothing anybody should have to go through, and oh man, I couldn't imagine. But Tennessee going on the road to Miami Dolphins. I think they'll have enough energy, enough hope with all that's going on in Florida to pull this win off. I mean, I don't know. Even if that wasn't the case, I would still go with Dolphins. They're at home. They have a solid defense. Their offense isn't too bad. Ryan Tannehill needs to step it up. But I'm taking Miami. And the next game up is the Washington Redskins going on the road to play the Baltimore Ravens. The Ravens are coming off a tough loss against the Oakland Raiders, and the Redskins are coming off a somewhat impressive win against the Browns, but that's the Browns. Every time these 2 teams play, it is a slugfest. It is kind of a high-scoring game, and I think that's going to be the case this week. The Redskins have a better offense. The Ravens' defense isn't that good, and I know I'm a Giants fan, so it's going to hurt to say this, but I'm going with the Redskins on the road. And the Houston Texans going on the road to play the Minnesota Vikings. The Vikings' defense against Brock Osweiler, I'm taking the Vikings. And the next game, the New York Jets going on the road to Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh, oh man, that's a tough place to get a win, especially for the Jets. I don't think they have nearly enough to deal with that Steeler offense. Man, it's going to be a high-scoring game, but just for the Steelers. I think they're going to blow them out. Steelers probably like 42-18, 16, something like that. So I'm taking Pittsburgh at home against the New York Jets. And game of the week for me, the Atlanta Falcons going on the road to play the Denver Broncos. Arguably the best offense in the Falcons and the best defense for the Broncos. Julio Jones coming off for 300 yards. That man is crazy. I don't know. I didn't even think that's possible to get 300 yards. But Matt Ryan, like I said in my last video, is playing like the best quarterback in the NFL. And they're going against the Broncos defense. So it's like offense or defense. Like they're both the best in the league or arguably the best in the league. Oh man, but Broncos are at home. I think they'll shut down Julio Jones. They have a dominant secondary. The Panthers had no secondary at all, so that's why you get 300 yards. Man, I don't know. I might. Man, it's tough. I told you this is tough. I don't want to pick the wrong team, but I'm going with the Broncos just because their defense is stout. The most dominant defense I've seen in years. The Buffalo Bills going on the road to the Coliseum to play the LA Rams. Now, the Buffalo Bills are coming off a good win against the New England Patriots, which I predicted in my last video, but the Rams are 3-1. They're looking real good. They just beat the Cardinals, which is very surprising, but I don't know. I get that feel that they're legit. I don't think it's a fluke. I don't think the 3-1 record's a fluke, and I think they're going to beat the Buffalo Bills in convincing fashion. And next up, we have a division matchup between the San Diego Chargers going on the road to play the Oakland Raiders. I'm taking Oakland in this one. I don't think the Chargers have enough defensively to deal with that Raiders offense. Raiders coming off a tough win against the Baltimore Ravens. The Chargers coming off an exciting, tough loss against the New Orleans Saints. Man, that finish to that game was one of the craziest I've seen in a while. But I'm going with the Raiders at home. Their offense is too much for the San Diego defense. And the last game on Sunday Night Football, is the New York Giants, my New York Giants, going to Lambeau Field to play the Green Bay Packers. Now, I want to pick the Giants so bad, and I think they'll win. I genuinely think they win. A bounce-back game from that tough Minnesota loss. We got to cut down on the penalties. We be beating ourselves. We muffed a punt. We had a chance against the Vikings, a slim chance that the Vikings defense is too much, but the Packers defense is nowhere near the Vikings defense. So I think Odell, that receiving core, will have a bounce-back game. Eli, I pray to God he has a good game. But I'm going to go with the Packers, just kind of like a reverse psychology. If I pick the Giants, they lose. If I pick the Packers, maybe they win. So, I don't know. I'm going to go with the Packers. I'm going to take a safe bet. I'm going with the Packers. But on a real note, I do think Odell will have a breakout game. A lot of chatter has been surrounding him this past couple weeks. Is he too emotional? Is he hurting the Giants? And I don't think that's the case. I think he's a passionate player who needs to tone it down a little bit and just focus on production. Don't worry about what people think about you. Worry about the routes, the catches. He's had a few drops, which is uncharacteristic, but I do think this will be a bounce-back game. And I'm hoping the Giants come out with the win, but they are going against a very good Green Bay team, so we'll see. And the last game on the schedule for Week 5 in the NFL is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers going on the road to Carolina. Now, I've been picking Carolina every video that I've done so far with this series, and I've been wrong every time. But the Buccaneers are coming to town. The Buccaneers are so bad. Hopefully, Jameis Winston can get it together because I actually like Jameis Winston. Carolina's defense is looking so shaky. Julio Jones had 300 yards on them. But I am going to go with the Carolina Panthers once again. Hopefully, I don't look like a fool. But this game, this is 3rd and 7. AJ Green, I think I could right here. And the very next play, I throw it up to AJ Green again for a very long touchdown. And that does it for the game. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know if you guys want me to continue this series. Drop a like, subscribe if you're new. I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.